Bonjour! He's back. He's back on the States. He made it back from Paris, France. You look Parisian.
Puckett, it is great to see you. It is great to hear your voice. It is great to be back in the greatest country on the planet, in the universe, the United States of America. I will say this, Puckett. I will say this. I enjoyed my time in France. The people in Paris did a phenomenal job. I thought they put on a first-class Olympic Games.
Here comes the butt.
No, I got no buts. I want to go back. I mean, honestly, there was a couple points on the trip where I was invited to go to some sites, and I didn't go because I want to go with my wife. I want to take the beautiful Melanie and Fair Egan, and take her to the top of the Eiffel Tower and take her to the Versailles Garden and down the Seine River and experience those moments with her. But
my mind went just a totally different place when you're like,
sure
a couple of things I was invited. All I thought about was the first thing because it's a French. A ménage à trois. That's all I thought of.
The 18-hour workdays, there wasn't time for
no ménage à trois.
Work, sleep, and eat. That was
McDonald's. McDonald's. A lot of McDonald's and a lot of Starbucks.
I can't lie to you. I did McDonald's twice when I was there.
That's not bad.
So only twice. I will say this: the last night, Puck, and we'll say this on pucksports.com. And you know what? If you're listening or if you're watching, you can take this and whatever, Egan. Thanks a lot. But I honestly thought it was a pretty cool moment. It is Sunday night. I watched the U.S. women's basketball team that they win a gold medal barely. They took out France, which was kind of I thought, Puckett, I was in the middle of Miracle on Ice for the French. The place was packed. And third quarter, France is a 10-point lead over the USA. And I'm like, what is happening here? They're going to upset the U.S. It's going to be the first loss for the Americans in 8 decades. Somehow they hung on and got the gold medal. But went from watching that game and went out and had dinner with two friends that worked for KUSA TV in Denver and somebody that works in St. Louis. And it's 10 p.m. in Paris on a Sunday night, and the place is packed. And what my point is this: we're getting there, we're all outside, we're eating, and the tables are just down the streets, people eating at 10 p.m. And I know we hit on this, that Seattle would be a ghost town. That's not my point. You hear all these people laughing and having fun, and I look up, and I turn to the guy from Matt Renew from KUSA in Denver. I said, do you notice anything here? And sure enough, you look at every single table, not one person, not one, had their phones out. It was they were engaged in each other, enjoying meals. And if I could take anything back from the French culture, it would be that, to have more just kind of moments where you're like, we get in America, it's go, 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 go. And I'm a victim of that. I wake up every day and I have a list of what I'm doing every day, where I'm going, what time I'm doing things. And they just kind of, you know what? If dinner takes 3 hours, dinner takes 3 hours. So I'd like to use a little more of that in my life and enjoy things a little bit more, because time moves pretty quick, Puck. And guess what's happening in 8 days?
Before we hold on though, before we get there, can we just let's officially start the Chris Egan podcast, which is proudly brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza. Locations, 3 locations in Sumner, Puyallup, South Hill. Shout out to the South Hill Little League, by the way. We're recording this early on Friday. Whenever you're watching or listening to this, either South Hill is up, down, whatever. They're taking on Florida today. No one wants to see Florida win. So shout out to South Hill as they're trying to advance in the Little League World Series. By the way, Loose Wheel, watch party at the Loose Wheel. Little shout out there. But get some pizza at Fat Zach's. Maybe go to the Loose Wheel with your Fat Zach's Pizza.
Loose Wheel, Bumpies,
Yeah, home of the original No Big Deal Pickle Pizza. Book one of their 3 food trucks for catering, birthday parties, and graduations and corporate events. And find Fat Zach's on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, FatZach'sPizza.com. We bring you the Chris Egan Show every Friday inside the Puck Sports Studios, built by Limback Lumber. Contractors, they offer free deliveries for everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Chris and I are big on these do-it-yourself projects. We're very handy.
We do.
They've got the largest stock moldings in the Northwest, and they've been doing business since 1930. Give them a call at 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Now, I've been watching this, and I'm going to tell you right now, as a father of a daughter, I'm getting choked up every time. And I don't like it. I don't like what you're doing to me on Instagram. I don't like it. I don't like the countdown. You're doing it. The one that really got me was the basketball one.
Oh.
So Chris is doing a countdown every day to his oldest child, who's about to get married. Maddie
8 days
Egan,
away. We're 8 days.
away.
We are in. It is what the old movie War Games when they just keep taking DEFCON 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at DEFCON 3 right now.
How we feeling, Dad? How are we feeling?
Well, as soon as I wrap up this podcast, Puck, I'm heading to finalize my suit, which I feel pretty good about. When you 22,000 steps a day in Paris, I came back, I jumped on the scale. I was actually, Puck,
lost weight.
I lost a pound. I lost 1 pound, and This is from somebody that was having 2 to 3 pastries a day. I'm like, you know what? I got to the point. I tried the first 2 days in Paris, like I'm gonna be done. And then I'm like, what are you doing? You're walking 22,000 steps a day, and you're in France. Let's enjoy the pastries and have some eclairs along the way. So I did that, and we talked about this. That something they just don't put in their food, and maybe it's all natural, whatever it is. But came back a pound less, so I feel pretty good going into my suit sizing. Now it's kind of finalizing how many people are coming, how many meals do we get, how much alcohol do we get, how much non-alcohol do we get, how many desserts do we get. But we do get a bonus. How about this from brother Mike Egan? Has surprised us with an early wedding
Shout out
gift.
to Mike. Great American.
Shout out to Mike. Great American. He has given us the first wedding gift, and that is Mike enjoys hot baked cookies fresh out of the oven.
Oh.
And so Mike, who doesn't, right? With some ice cream, went out and found a cookie truck, his favorite cookie truck. And so that cookie truck will be arriving near the end of the wedding for everybody. So
is that is in lieu, in replace of the wedding cake?
No, we still have the wedding cake and everything else. So this is
a diabetes wedding, is what this is.
Well, and as much as you joke about that, we have my dad who does battle with sugar intake.
Hey, Dad, I know you battle from diabetes and sugar, but here's some wedding cake. And by the way, Dad, here's a food truck with cookies.
My poor dad's going to be staring down a food truck. And, it's not like cookies don't smell.
There's also going to be an attendant in the bathroom that is going to be having people mainline sugar off the counter.
So, and Puck, you can help me out here. We have not finalized this yet. So you are an expert. You are a proud cougar that knows his alcohol well.
Oh, sure.
We're kind of, you're going to have a red wine, you're going to have a white wine, and then we're going to have some champagne. But now that it comes down to it, is how many choices of beer do you go with? We kind of think a seltzer. You need, that's the kids nowadays. So you got to have one seltzer. I don't know what that would be, a Topo Chico or some other type of seltzer.
They like the Topo Chico. That seems to be,
yeah. So can't go wrong with that. I think you have to have a Coors Light.
Sure. Well,
I think,
yeah.
I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is what we're at right now, and you can add in. I was at a wedding. It was a summer wedding, and this flew off the shelves, and they ran out of it. Was Corona Light. So Corona Light in bottles, nice and cool. So my question is, are we missing? Should we go with an IPA there, or is it needed? I mean, there's going to be 2 hard alcohol drinks as well. So I mean, how much?
Like a signature cocktail?
2 signature cocktails.
What are they? Lay it on.
We got Maddie's margarita.
Oh yeah.
So and then I'm blanking on the groom's drink. The groom's drink will be with vodka.
Probably something with an umbrella like you.
Well, I got the margarita already.
That doesn't have an umbrella in it.
Yes. So you got a margarita with the tequila, and the guy's drink's got vodka in it. So my question here, Puck, is this is, you're the master on this. Your thoughts? Do we add a fourth
Yeah. So are you asking are you going to have like a keg of this, or is it just like
No,
bottles and?
we're buying it all, and then it will be at the bar, and then the bartender will pour it in.
Why don't you buy a few? There may be some some beer snobs there.
Some beer snobs.
Why don't you buy a few? Maybe like a real light drinkable IPA or something like that.
Like just maybe 3 cases of a Blue Moon, or
maybe not. No, just get something Northwest. Go get like
a Northwest IPA.
I got an idea. Yeah, how about we go get go get some Georgetown Bodhisattva.
Okay, Bodhisattva.
Support local. You love local.
Support local. I do love local.
So get a Georgetown Bodhisattva.
Okay.
I don't know how many. You can't get cases of it. That comes in 6-packs. Get some. I don't know.
Have enough just in case. There's always going to be a couple beer snobs, aren't there, at every wedding?
Get 6-pack. Get 36 beers.
Okay. All right. I respect your opinion. I mean, and we're 8 days away, so these decisions could be made.
Surprised you went with Coors Light, though.
What would you go with there?
Well, I mean, even though it's not brewed here anymore, I think I would go with a little Vitamin R, probably.
Little Rainier beer, huh?
Or Coors Light, whatever you choose. But I thought you would go Rainier.
Well, I would go Rainier. It just seems like people enjoy the Coors Light.
Coors Light. Everybody enjoys when the mountains are blue.
And you know what? It's from America, the great country that took home the medal count.
It is from America. Probably not a lot of Coors Lights in Paris.
So we talked Puckett on last Friday. On the following day, I went to watch Nevin Harrison from Roosevelt High.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Proud Seattle native. She was in the sprint canoe, as we're talking about America, and I was no stranger here, the only American in the mix zone, which we cleared up what that is.
Yeah. It's where the Hungarians smoke.
Well, and it was packed to the rafters of just tons of press from all over the world, and it got feisty in there. I had some Czechoslovakians pull up right behind me, and I'm like, dude, I've been here for 5 hours.
Love the Czechs.
Back away.
Love the
Back
Czechs.
away. And God, it was fun. It was fun. And I was just being cocky American, saying, look at the leaderboard.
You're not on the team.
I felt like I was on the team.
Yeah. How did she do, by the way? How did she do?
Well, talk about this. So Nevin Harrison, if you don't know the name, sprint canoeist, won a gold medal in Tokyo. 22 years of age, phenomenal athlete, but was battling some injuries. The world record, maybe off a little bit here, but the world record going in was 46.7 seconds. Okay, that was the world record. Nevin's goal was always to break the world record. Nevin got 46.13 was her time. Mm-hmm. So broke the world record. The Canadian got 46.12. So she basically, it was a photo finish. But you know what? She left there. She gave it all on the water and was very happy. And I think she'll probably be back in LA, honestly. So It was cool to see also another one, Shilese Jones, make the announcement. She was the one that got injured in gymnastics, and she'll be back. She'll be going after LA as well.
What about Biles? You think she left the door open to do it?
She did. She left the door open. And the cool thing, that nobody's really talking about right now, Puckett, is I got out of France with Jordan Childs' bronze medal. So I know there's a lot of questions right now where that bronze medal is.
It's
in Puyallup.
It's going to be, I'm going to be wearing it at Maddie Egan's wedding.
I'm presenting it to Maddie as a wedding gift. Jordan Childs' bronze medal.
Isn't there an issue with the medals? Aren't they complaining about it or something? Is something wrong with the bronze?
Yeah.
No, not hers, but at the bronze medal. Isn't there something wrong with the design or something?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard about that. There were so many things.
You're talking about the Jordan Childs thing, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. It's, you know what? In the end, it was a huge success. It was great to be there, but it's great to be back home. And you get back home and you go to the station. They're like, "All right, hey, Seahawks football. We got Saturday on King 5 TV." And then,
when are you going to be doing? Are you have to work right away?
I'll be anchoring Saturday because Paul will be with the Seahawks in Tennessee. And then
didn't you hire a new person?
Yeah, I know. I think she's helping out too. But then we got
where is she? Well, hold on. Where is she? Hold on. Time out. The new hire. My apologies. Is
Ariel Orzuto.
Ariel or Zudo?
Yeah.
Hey, Ariel, I know you're watching her. Ariel, we're just new on the job, huh? How about we
She's working
cut our
hard,
guy
Puck.
a little slack? I know she's working hard, but not harder than you.
It's, you know what, it was, you know what's tough is that there's a producer, Tony White, who,
Sure, been
God
there
bless this
forever.
guy, been there forever, probably was working 18-hour days during the Olympics. And him and I brought in my gear, and he was sitting there and looks like he's ready for a long winter's nap. Like he needs to go. He needs to go on vacation as well.
Just out.
And he's out, and I'm kind of just out. And somebody comes over and goes, "Hey guys," you know, one of the salespeople, like, "Time to start talking about Milan." And we're like,
yeah,
we're not mentioning
got
the
some
O word.
ideas, Chris.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a billboard on you.
We're not mentioning the O word, which is the Olympics, until February at the earliest.
So when is that? When's Milan?
That is 2026, yeah.
And you're going to that too?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would. Everything went well here.
I got an idea. Hey, Ariel, have you ever been to Milan? No, you know what? Actually, you're going to want to go to that.
Yeah. No,
because it's Italy. Now you've got, and I've got a day trip planned for you. It's an hour train ride, I think, maybe less. Take a train ride, do a live shot at Lake Como, try to find Clooney's house. It'd be great.
And you know who wants to go there too, Puck?
Well, Melanie Egan.
Yes, Melanie Egan wants to go. Yeah.
Take her.
She wants to come. Yeah, she needs to go. We said this when the wedding's over. It's interesting that the wedding couple goes on a honeymoon.
The parents.
Well, the parents of the bride should go. They should. You know, I'm going to come up with a name for that because we should go on we should have our own vacation.
I think you are correct, and I think you, sir, you've come up with a fine idea. What would we call that? We need to come up with that. Parents
of the bride. Yeah, we need that. That needs to become. We need a getaway. But yeah, no, we're excited. It's going to be fun. I will tell this. I'm getting a little of that father of the bride thing. We were trying to pick out appetizers, and of course the people doing the thing like, oh, everybody loves the meatballs, you know, like, but they go fast.
I do love. So you
gotta like double order on the meatballs, and I'm like, you know what? The last thing I want to do is sit there and see my friends just pounding down a bunch of meatballs that I paid for.
What do you got against your friends, Pat? I like a good meatball. I think a meatball is a great little high protein snack. You can eat about 400 of those and be fine.
Great snack, Puck. But I know I'm gonna come out, and there's gonna be like my dad and brother-in-law. And they're gonna have like a plate of 20 meatballs, and the waiter's gonna come over like, Chris, we're out of meatballs. And so I'm like,
Chris, can you go take the crock pot in the back and put some more meatballs in there? What are we serving? What do we got? What's the menu?
So we're going Italian. We got a nice Italian salad, and then we're going to have pasta with 3 different sauces. Chicken Parmesan is going to be your nice protein there, Puck.
I forgot where Egan was an Italian heritage.
We do not. Well, Egan is, we're half German, half Irish, so
Italian themed wedding.
Yeah, we did not want to go with Spetzels in
Spätzle is, first of all, it's phenomenal. All right, so I love it. We got an Italian thing. We got 3 different pastas. We got a chicken parm. Oh, this sounds great.
3 pastas, a chicken parm, and then we're gonna have some appetizers. I'm probably steering away from the meatballs just because I don't want to have to feed everybody that much food.
Do we have
I'm also worried, Puck. My sister is notorious for coming to family events with Tupperware, and
what's your sister's name?
Jenny.
So is Jenny over there before them? Is like putting food, like she's boxing it up, you think?
She brings Tupperware to my parents' house. Jenny has a full-time job. So does her husband. They make great money. She brings Tupperware to my parents' house and load up before the food's even off the counter.
I don't see a problem with this, Chris.
It's a big problem, Puck. I'm like, literally, one day she's leaving my parents' house with a bag full of groceries. I'm like, Jenny, that's mom and dad's food.
Well, maybe they've bought a little too much. So Jenny let me ask you, when Jenny does go over there to the parents' house, does she show like an Egan family card like at Costco, and you know, as she enters the house? And then when does she leave? Does your dad sit there and like see what she has and goes and does the and does the little receipt check.
Poor brother Mike once, like, is the shrimp gone? I go, I think Jenny's got some in her Tupperware.
Jenny has a cooler. She's taken with her. Good for Jenny.
Oh,
I like Jenny. Jenny seems like I like her a lot.
He loves Jenny.
I do that at my mom's house. But my mom is of one, and she literally still goes to Costco like it's Armageddon's around the corner.
Yeah. And Jenny's the youngest of four, three older brothers, and she had to put up a lot. One of my favorite stories is Jenny had a rabbit named Flopsy, and Flopsy passed away, and my mom asked my brother Brian and I to bury Flopsy in the backyard, and I didn't want to do it. I was out playing Nerf football, and so I told Brian, I go, you go bury Flopsy. He's like, all right, I'll bury Flopsy. And an hour passed, and we were upstairs, and my mom was looking down in the woods, and she's like, what is Jenny? Why is she petting the ground? Well, Brian buried Flopsy with his ears sticking out of the ground.
Jesus. Good Lord.
He was petting the ground.
Hey, speaking of that,
she deserves the food, Buck. She deserves the food.
Yeah, let Jenny have. We had a few weeks ago. We had a bunch of mulch delivered to the house. The manly thing that I'm mulching the yard.
Yeah.
So this is a process of like 2 weeks of mulching the entire yard, front and back. And I'm digging in there one day, like the third day. I'm digging and I dump some mulch down, and I'm like, what is that? What the hell is that? Looks like a limb. I'm in the backyard, cleaning stuff up. There's a cat limb. In the mulch.
What?
Freshly severed cat limb.
Oh.
I'm like, it's like Pet Cemetery. Freshly severed in the backyard. I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't know if it was in the mulch, but then my neighbors was telling me that on their Ring camera, like a few nights before that,
a coyote?
He said, like 3 of them. He goes, and these things, they weren't the small ones. He's like, these things were just like hopped up on a HGH, roaming the neighborhood.
Those coyotes will come out. Speaking of yards and interesting moments, when I left for Paris, we were having a mole issue, and I handled the mole. It was my job to handle the moles.
You're a mole guy.
It actually worked out really well, and I have not been able to really figure out moles very well. So I left. Melanie Egan, who was not going to put up with this at her house. So she's like, tries it one day, the moles pop up. Yeah. She's like, enough's enough. She does some research, and this is why, in my mind, Puck, she's the #1 realtor in America right now, because she'll find a way. She'll find a way. Mel will find a way.
Where does she do her work at again? Or?
She contacted a lady called the Mole Whisperer, and the mole problem is absolutely gone. The Mole Whisperer came into the Egan house, front backyard. Mel said she would smell the ground. She would just kind of feel.
Excuse me?
She would smell. She knew where the moles were going.
Okay.
She got 3 moles. Boom.
Come on. She's down there smelling the ground?
She was smelling the ground.
Come on. Does Melanie Egan have pictures of this?
I got the moles. She left them on the front steps for us.
Wait a minute. She doesn't take the moles with her?
No, you pay for the moles. She left them in a bag.
What is she doing? What do you mean left them in a bag? Doesn't she take the moles with her to go throw them away? You're supposed to get rid of the moles?
Literally, when I got home from Paris, the final 2 moles and the front steps.
Oh, Jesus. What the hell?
I asked the Mole Whisperer, I said,
the Mole Whisperer,
should I put these back in the holes to kind of deter other moles from coming back into my yard? She's like, no. That will only bring in.
I need a video or a picture of the Mole Whisperer. Can we get a link or something here?
She was phenomenal. And I watched her work the final day. And she's looking in the backyard, and she literally is on the ground sniffing the grass. She did the grass box. She took care of the moles. They're gone.
Come on.
They're gone.
Come on. Sniffing the grass.
Best money we've ever spent was on the Mole Whisperer.
Well, you know what? Speaking of smelling, you know what that is? That's the putrid smell of your Mariners. When you left for Paris, I believe they were
in first place when I left, Puck.
Yeah, either a game or two up in first place. Now they're down by 3. Thanks a lot, Egan. Nice job.
I don't even know who's on the team anymore, Puck. I was like, what? I don't know. And
you can't. I'm not. You won't believe who they brought back.
Who did they bring back?
Unesky Betancourt's playing second.
They got Digger Phelps out in the outfield again. Ken Phelps out there.
Moyer is back pitching, and then you wouldn't have been shocked. His first outing was okay, but he had a bad 4th inning, and then the reporters went in there and they said, "Hey, Jamie, what happened in the 4th inning?" I don't know. What'd you see? That's how it went.
Henry Cotto. It's good to see Rupert Jones.
I thought Presley looked better than he normally has, playing a hot corner.
Yeah, if Bruce Bochy could pick up his batting average a little bit, I think we're going to make a run. Puck, I am.
Pete O'Brien still struggling to hit opposite field.
Yeah, Pete O'Brien, one of the great ones. Here it is, Puck. I'm gone for 23 days, and you can break down everything I've heard and see what's happening and everything. I didn't hear a whole lot of good or bad from Seafair, which happened while I was gone. So I don't know what that means.
I think a Hanauer won.
I heard the Seahawks, training camp going well. The guys are fighting a lot. That's all I can tell you there. The Sounders all of a sudden have just reemerged as this great playoff contender. They're winning. And then the Mariners have basically got rid of a lot of players and are struggling right now, but still have the best pitching in baseball.
Here's the Mariners. Pitching's great.
Yep.
Can't hit, no offense. It's the same story. It's just rinse and repeat.
Francis, meanwhile, now hitting in Cincinnati, Puck, is what I've heard.
2 or 3 home runs, I think, since in Cincinnati. Yeah, it's just the same. Julio's banged up, ankle sprain. Everyone's mad that he came back too early, and I don't know. It's just
what were you happy with any of these moves that they made?
I liked them all. I thought Rosarino was Rosarino, love it. I like the Robles signing, the extension. I like the Justin Turner, but it's it doesn't matter what they did at the deadline. None of those guys were going to significantly improve the offense. There's just too many holes on it. And I think the players are part of the problem, but I also think whatever their philosophy in terms of offense and hitting is, it's broken and it doesn't work. It just doesn't. Yeah. And it's been going on for 9 years. Whatever they are teaching at the lower levels and then to guys when they come here, it just doesn't work. And I don't know.
Pitching working, hitting.
Pitching's
obviously.
great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Now people are the big discussion here, especially after the Tigers series. They want to replace Scott Service, and I mean, you can try and replace Scott Service and replace the front office and all that. I mean, I do think it's ultimately going to come down to the people like John Stanton and Chris Larson who are running the organization. They're the ones that are ultimately responsible and are the issues, but. Yeah. I don't know how much it changes until that happens. I mean, there's still a lot of baseball to be played, and as much as everyone's angry right now, they're 3 games back. They can reverse this pretty quickly.
Well, and I've said this from when you and I talked during spring training. I've said this when we were in first. I said this when we were trailing. As it seems like an elementary answer, but when you're a baseball dad and you watch a lot of baseball, if you have pitching, you are in every single game. And somehow, if this team can find a way and get into the postseason, that's what's frustrating to me, Puck, is I don't think they're ever going to have a pitching staff like this again because contracts. These players are going to get money, and they're not going to be able to hold all of these.
Of course
pitchers.
Not. They can't keep all of them.
And let's be honest too. Here, knock on wood for this season, you're never going to have a pitching staff stay healthy like this staff. Sure, Woo's come and gone and things like that, but I mean, this is the year to cash in with these pitchers. And if you can't, then I don't know if it's ever going to happen. That's what's frustrating.
All right, so a week from today, we are 1 day away. Is the wedding next Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will do a show next week on the eve of.
We should do it from the rehearsal dinner, to be honest with you.
Would love to if we could. Yeah.
You could see, Papa Ed Egan, the father-in-law Jim. I mean, it's just going to be a show. And we have some concern, Puck. I don't want to alert the Egan party right now because this one I'm releasing is breaking news. My brother Mike, who responsible for the cookie, is up in Alaska Usually my dad takes myself and my brother Brian fishing. Brother Brian, I think we've talked about, sadly passed away. We cherish him every day. I was in Paris and my dad wanted to go to Alaska. So Brother Mike, who's never gone fishing, went to Alaska and is there with my dad right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, the report is, and Brother Mike will be the officiant at the wedding. Phenomenal job in everything he does, but apparently he's got his pastor's card or whatever it takes to do weddings. Apparently his son was casting, and when his son went back, the lure got stuck in my brother Mike's cheek. So we do not
So he's
know
scarred. The man is scarred, is what you're saying.
We do not know the extent of the injury because nobody's seen pictures. They're still in Alaska. So there's a little concern our pastor may have. I mean, Egan, Paulson wedding, Vic
Can't
wedding,
wait.
anything can happen. It's going to be fun,
wait.
though. It's going to be a lot of tennis, a lot of tall people, a lot of basketball players there.
Okay.
So, it'll be fun.
There he is. It's the Chris Egan podcast back in the States, proudly brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza. New episodes drop every Friday at 1 o'clock on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. Please like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment. Of course, all content up at pucksports.com. All right, a week from today, we'll be on the eve of the Maddie Egan wedding. Next week's episode, the Maddie Egan wedding podcast, okay?
And can I still do my videos, or are you banning me from doing videos? Can I my countdown? Can I continue to do my countdown?
No, I love the videos. They're making they're just they I think of my daughter.
Yeah,
so that you tear me up. Yeah, keep
Puckett,
the videos coming.
If any advice for anybody with a daughter over the age of 6 right now, over the age of 6, start yourself up a 401k or a CD or a savings account and just call it wedding.
Yeah.
And begin saving now. But they're our daughters, so we'll do anything for them, right?
See you, Chris.
All right, buddy.